Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here, wrapping up my Sunday, September 10th video. It's about 1:30 in the morning, September 11th, Monday, September 11th. Significant day in our American history that has nothing to do with Uber and what I'm talking about right now. But it's there. So, did not make my $200 goal tonight, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I finished the night at about 155. No, I'm sorry. It's like 165 with tips. I got some cash tips tonight, which is becoming more and more rare. Most people are tipping electronically nowadays, which I like. It's easier for me. But 163, 165 in tips. It's a bunch of ones. I haven't counted them all up. Not a bad night, and I will say this, the Sunday of Labor Day weekend with a Monday holiday was significantly busier, and that's obvious. That's common sense why. But, my night pretty much wrapped up right around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then the airport picked up right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I actually got 3 flights, 3 airport rides at the arrivals terminal when I was not even anywhere near the airport. One of them I was 10 minutes away in Alexandria. One of them I was about 8 minutes away in Crystal City. And the other one I was on 395 on my way to the airport. So, what happened is, as far as I can tell, there was a couple late flights, one Southwest and one United, that came in real late, like 11:30, 11:40-ish, and dumped all their passengers out into the airport. And the queue was just empty. I don't know if there were cars in the airport queue or not, because I didn't even drive by. But, I know there's a lot of shenanigans at Reagan where people are not logged in and they're there. I think there's a lot more Lyft drivers at Reagan than there are Uber drivers. But for whatever the case may be, no one was logged in, or not enough people were logged into Uber, that I kept getting ride requests from outside the airport queue staging lot, which is fine by me. One of them was a 2.0 surge. It was to Crystal City, but it was still a 2.0 surge. So, I kind of transformed into like late night airport mode right at the end of my shift. But, it was 1:30. I had dropped off my last guy in Crystal City. And, I'm tired. I'm taking tomorrow off, I think. I think I'm going to spend the day with my son. He has a makeup class at karate. And then on top of that, I just haven't really, hung out with him in a little while. So I think I'm going to either do a day with him, or him and my daughter combined. I don't know what her dance schedule is like tomorrow. I'm sure it's monstrous. So, that's kind of where we stand, is I could use a day off. So here's the breakdown, guys. I know you've been anticipating my final numbers for the week. Lyft, $0. Yep, $0, guys. I have not completed a single Lyft ride this week. Uber, drum roll please, 1,073. Now, I wanted to do 1150. I probably could have stayed out on the road for another hour and a half, 2 hours tonight and just grinded and made $50. But you know what? My body's telling me otherwise. So I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to go home. Great night though. Great week in general. I'm really, really pleased with DC, guys. I am not, I'm not crying about the BWI airport business. I don't even really mind that I'm driving a lot more. Like, my fuel economy is about 28 miles to the gallon in the city, 27 depending on the night. But that's great compared to what the minivan was getting in the city. Easily 10, 12 miles better than that stupid Dodge Grand Caravan, which got horrible city mileage. And I kind of enjoy it. I think tonight's a couple of the things that might have gone wrong tonight, and I'm thinking, reflecting back, is I had several rides that they weren't classified as long trips, but they might as well have been. I had Brandywine, which is way down in the tip of, like the southern, past National Harbor and then some. And I did not get any rides back to civilization from there. I had one to College Park. I had two to like the waterfront district of Arlington, and I'm talking far down into Arlington, like 20 minutes away from the airport. Nothing but trees and grass and residential houses, Arlington. So, I had a couple trips that took me out of the city proper, and did not really give me a lot of return trips, bringing me back. So they were kind of one ways, and that's dead time. That's time lost. And then it kind of got quiet, like 9 to 10 p.m. It was kind of quiet then. Sunday was a little bit more tame, I'm not going to lie. So, it's kind of lesson learned. I was down here at a regular time, my 3:30, 4 o'clock time. But Sunday is definitely a little bit of a different animal. So, that requires a little bit more experimentation. Reagan was busy. I did a bunch of trips out of Reagan today, but they're just not gigantic trips. So, it's a little bit of a different beast exploring Sundays in DC. Definitely something I need to table and then kind of just come back to at a later date. After I have a couple more Sundays under my belt. But I'm very pleased with the week. I really am. I feel like it was a great week. 5.5 days is really what I want to call that, because that Monday, Labor Day, I really worked like 3 hours. So it's just a good week all around, guys. I'm not disappointed at all, and that's how I got to look at it. So I'm going to obviously rinse and repeat and do the exact same thing this coming week, but I'm going to take Monday off instead of the Thursday, and that's probably going to actually net me some gains. I feel like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those will be busier days in DC than they might have been in Baltimore, and obviously Saturday and Sunday. So should be just a great night all around, guys. I'm very pleased. I don't have any real words of wisdom, but for those of you guys that are driving Baltimore, BWI, the suburbs, and you have a Baltimore account. And what I mean by a Baltimore Uber account is you're getting Boost that always tells you to drive Baltimore City rush hour, and Baltimore City Friday and Saturday night. That means you have a Baltimore account, and you can switch it. You can come down here to the DC office of Uber and they will switch your account. Just tell them you're going to drive more in DC. And, if you guys think, oh, it's really far, I live 70 miles away from DC. 70 miles. It's an hour and 20 minutes from my house to Washington, DC. So, that commute time, while it may seem pretty large, it's worth it, guys. It's worth it for the consistency of knowing that, I'm going to make the numbers I need to make every week to pay my bills and take care of my family. So just think about it from that perspective. Like I told you guys, this is a fishing industry. This is not an hourly wage industry. Anybody that thinks that this is hourly wage math is sorely mistaken. This is like the guys on Deadliest Catch that get out on the boat and they drive out to the ocean and then they catch a bunch of fish and drive home. Sail home, whatever word you want to use. It's late, you guys know me. But, you kind of go out in your car until you get enough business to go home. And then you go home and you do it again. And, that's just part of the business is, driving to where the money's going to be more profitable. Can I make $200 a night in Baltimore? Maybe. I think maybe is a strong word. I don't think yes is the right word. I think maybe is probably the better way to say it. And the reason why is that there's pockets. You get Fed Hill, Fells Point, Canton, Financial District during rush hour, Towson at night. But these areas are all just enough spread apart that if one of them starts to surge, By the time you get there, it's gone. And that's kind of the problem with Baltimore, is that it's little pockets of activity, and if you're not in the right pocket when it happens, you're doomed. And that's my problem with Surge in general, honestly. The boost numbers, which are guaranteed, 1.1 to 2.0, whatever the boost may be, obviously based on the promotion, but guaranteed boost in DC is much higher. 1.6, 1.5, 1.9, 2.0 in some areas. So it's worth it for me to be in an area where I know I'm going to get a guaranteed 1.6 versus chasing a surge cloud. So, that's kind of where we stand, guys. I have missed out on the last couple sporting events down here in DC. I'm a moron, and I just didn't time it right. A couple times the Nationals have played, and I was not there to catch the surge. FedEx Field, there was a DC United game, which I don't know if that was really active or not. But there was also a Skins game that I missed the surge on because I was just driving in the city, and I didn't leave the city quick, in the right amount of time to get there. So I've got to figure that out. That's definitely something I'm not used to, because in Baltimore, everything's right there. Orioles Stadium, Ravens Stadium, they're right there. So it doesn't take long to get from one side of town to the other. But obviously in DC, it's a little different. FedEx Field is out in the burbs, and Nationals Stadium is kind of tricky to get to if you're not, right near it. So definitely need to kind of learn DC's sporting venues and their timelines and how long it's going to take me to get to them. That's on my list of things to do. And then I need to learn the music scene in DC a little bit better, because there's the National Harbor, and then there's lots of little places where there's people performing, and I don't feel like I'm confident in what those places are and where they are and how to get to them in a timely manner. So I've got some homework assignments for myself, guys. I really do. And I promise you guys I will get better at that stuff, and then when I feel like I've got it down, I'll communicate it to you guys. But everybody have a great night. I'm gonna crash. I have a call at 2 o'clock on Monday, so that's kind of part of the news to come. And hopefully, if it all goes well, I will have some videos for you guys that'll tell you what's coming. But other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.